Hey guys, and welcome back to the vlog. I'm Andrew Jones Brothers. This week I'm going to be tackling the topic of Korean skincare, only I'm going to be doing a slightly different approach to it, kind of a more streamlined version for busy Americans. For those of you that are viewing my channel for the first time, be sure to hit subscribe down below, and if you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up also. Anywho, on to the vlog. So Korean skincare is something that I've been hearing about for a couple of years now, and it's something I always wanted to try, but it was something I was a little hesitant to try because I was fairly married to my existing skincare routine. That said, over the last 45 days, I've been experimenting some with the Korean skincare routine. Now, I'm already someone who tends to take their time in the bathroom when it comes to my skincare routine, so the idea of a multi-step Korean skincare routine isn't something that really freaked me out. That said, once I started doing some more research on Korean skincare, I found out that the routine can be anywhere from 10 to 17 steps. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. I couldn't even imagine what someone would be doing for 17 steps on a skincare routine, no less how long that might take. So I wanted to work on streamlining this routine a little bit more. My Korean skincare for busy Americans shouldn't take you any more than 10 to 15 minutes. Yes, I've actually set a clock and I haven't exceeded that time unless I got distracted by something else. But before we dive into the actual routine, let's start with a little bit of an overview and some tips. Tip number 1, Korean skincare is meant to be slow. I know what you're probably thinking, if I'm streamlining the routine, does that kind of defeat the purpose of it? Yes and no. These skincare routines are supposed to be some time that you can kind of take for yourself every morning and every night to sort of relax as you're entering your day and calm down as you're ending your day. So what I would recommend here is don't try to rush through it. Even if you're busy or in a hurry or whatever, just take these moments and know that the rest of the world is still going to be there after you're done with your skincare routine. If nothing else, think of it as being really efficient and doing two things at once. You're doing your skincare, and you can also kind of consider it your morning meditation and time to collect yourself. Tip number 2, Korean skincare is really the anti-American skincare. As Americans, we like to scrub and exfoliate and use wipes and pads and chemicals to smooth things out and plump things up. This is totally anti-Korean skincare. It's all about being gentle to your skin, and instead of punishing it, nourishing it. Everything in my skincare routine that I've developed here, I apply with my hands. I don't use any tools or pads or anything like that, and I've stopped all exfoliation over the last 45 days aside from what I may get with a mask. Also, I've foregone any kind of retinol products, and I've also gotten rid of any sort of products that may contain acids that would strip the skin. So tip number 3, think thin to thick. Yes, there are a lot of steps in a Korean skincare routine, but don't worry about forgetting which ones go in which order. Korean skincare is all about applying the most watery products first so that they have more time to absorb into your skin and gradually moving up to the thicker products. So if you get confused, just line all your products up and think what's the wateriest and what's the thickest, and go in that order. Tip number 4. Let it sink in. I'm really not kidding when I say sometimes I actually take a timer into the bathroom with me. Well, actually, I use the timer on my iPhone. After every step, wait 30 seconds to 1 minute before you apply the next product. This gives the skincare products time to sink into your skin and not just be wiped away as you move on to the next step. So now that you have a few basic tips about Korean skincare, let's get right into the routine. This routine is going to clock in at 6 steps that are going to be done morning and night, plus 1 twice weekly step and 1 mid-afternoon step. Step number 1 is going to be your cleanser. Koreans are all about the 2-step cleansing, which is going to be an oil-based cleanser and a foaming cleanser. I'm already making a little bit of an adjustment here just because, honestly, I'm a guy and I don't wear makeup, and the oil-based cleanser is really meant to be used as a first step to remove makeup. These oil cleansers are literally going to make the makeup melt off your face, which is going to be a great substitute for getting rid of the harsh wipes and chemical makeup removers. Because let's face it, those chemicals can be pretty harsh on your skin, and all the wipes and makeup remover pads really make you tug at your skin, which, as you know, is not going to help. For myself, I picked up a product called Pure Eco Bamboo Water Cleansing Gel Foam by Tony Moly. That's a mouthful. And I kind of had this act as a 1-2 punch. This product does foam up some, but it really made my skin feel super dry if I didn't immediately put something else on my face. So while Tony Moly is a Korean option, I'll probably be returning to my tried and true Cetaphil just as kind of a gentle cleanser as my go-to and returning to my night-only cleansing. The toner. For my toner, I actually have selected 2. One of the first brands that started me thinking about Korean skincare was SK-II. So I picked up their Petra Essence Starter Kit, which came with a travel-size version of their toner, the Facial Treatment Clear Lotion. I also picked up a secondary option just because I know that SK-II is a little on the pricey side, so I wanted to come up with a more economical option as well. The second toner I found is a Korean toner from Be The Skin. Both of these toners are extremely watery, as you would expect from a toner, but I resisted the urge to use a cotton pad to apply these, and instead I just put a little bit in my palms and applied it to my face. Step 3, the essence. This is one you typically will not find in any American skincare routines. Incorporation of Korean essence is really a hallmark of Korean skincare, but honestly there are still a lot of people that aren't convinced that it actually does anything for your skin. Again, I picked up the SK2 facial treatment essence for my essence step. Similar to the toner, it's pretty watery, but I put some between the palm of my hands and then I just apply it to my face in an upward motion. The first few times I put this essence on, I was hooked. My skin felt great, it looked brighter, I thought it was smoother. It's kind of hard to explain what really looked different about it, you just need to try one. That said, as I've progressed through this bottle, I've noticed a little bit of a lesser impact on my skin. I don't know if I've gotten used to it or what, but I can definitely see how some people do end up skipping the essence step. Step number 4 is going to be serums. This is the step where you can really increase the number of steps in your Korean skincare routine. I myself keep it to 1, but this is where you can really start to insert targeted products for your individual skincare needs, be it anti-aging or dark spot correcting, pore reduction, whatever. For my Korean serum trial, I opted for the Snail Repair Intensive Serum from Mizon. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I used to use a snail serum from Sederm, which I loved as it blended both hyaluronic acid and snail serum. But since that product has been discontinued with Sederm, this is probably as good of a substitute as any. Also, it's super cheap at right around $10 from Mizon. Fun fact, snail serum is actually a natural antibacterial, so if you have problem-prone skin, this is definitely something I recommend picking up. If I was given the option to insert one more step here, it would probably be a serum for hyaluronic acid. I've tried a lot of them, and honestly my favorite is still my Neutrogena Hydro Boost, which I would apply before adding the snail serum on top. Next up, masks. This is going to be that twice a week step that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Korean skincare is very big on masks, and they recommend doing masks at least 2 to 3 times a week to incorporate in with your normal skincare. Traditional Korean skincare would put the mask step just after you do your serums, but I don't know, logically speaking, I kind of feel like I would be taking off all the serums that I just put on there. So if I'm going to do a mask, I personally do it right after my cleansing step and before I go into toners and serums. Now this is another step where you can get creative on using masks that address your individual skin needs. Hydration, exfoliation, extraction, pore reduction. Again, it kind of depends on what it is that you're wanting to go for with your skin. Now this is the only kind of exfoliation I perform during this 45-day test, so I normally maintained a ratio of 2 to 1 exfoliation to hydration. For my selection of exfoliation mask, I went with my Boscia charcoal mask, and also I occasionally worked in a Mario Badescu. Or you could also go with a collagen or hyaluronic acid sheet mask from someone like Tony Moly. For a full rundown of all of my favorite masks, be sure that you check out that video also on my channel. So back to step number 5, eye creams. I'm going to be the first to admit to you, I don't use eye creams nearly as much as I should. I'm always on the lookout for a good one, but I just haven't found one that I really like yet. If you do have any suggestions of a good eye cream, please be sure to comment those down below, as I'd love to hear what you guys are using. For now though, I've relatively recently picked up the Clinique All About Eyes, as they were out of my Even Better Eyes treatment that I typically use. While I do think it's good for making the skin around your eyes feel moisturized and smooth, in my opinion, it doesn't do anything for dark circles, which, as I've talked about in previous vlogs, is kind of a thing for me. With the eye cream though, you're going to want to be sure that you apply this both day and night, and of course always pat the cream under your eyes instead of rubbing. Rubbing is only going to hurt that delicate skin. Typically use your ring finger and just pat it in. So step number 6 is going to be the same as in almost any American skincare routine, and that is the moisturizer. For daytime, I vacillate between my L'Oreal men's lotion that has some SPF in it, and also my Confidence in a Cream lotion that I've mentioned in some previous vlogs. The Confidence in a Cream can sometimes make my skin feel a little bit oily, so on days that I think my skin's going to be a little more oily, or if I know that I'm going to be in the sun a little bit more, I'm definitely going to go with my L'Oreal for Men that does contain SPF. I definitely recommend having SPF in your moisturizer. If your moisturizer doesn't have that, I'm sorry, you're going to need to add an extra step where you do add an SPF on top of your moisturizer. This is just going to be protecting your skin against free radicals and sun damage. In the evening, I do still opt for my Sederm night cream to round out my routine. Well guys, that is 6 steps for day and night, plus that bi-weekly step with the masks. That's going to lead us to our final ingredient of Korean skincare that is perfect for busy on-the-go Americans. I'm talking about the facial mist. Facial mists are a huge hallmark of Korean skincare. After you've done all this work on your skin with all these products, doing a facial mist is going to help to reactivate and keep those ingredients working throughout the day on your skin. While any mineral water mists will work, I personally opted for the Mario Badescu facial spray that has aloe and rose water. To the point that I have this product in both a travel size for when I'm traveling, as well as a larger 8-ounce countertop size. So I picked up this travel size of the Mario Badescu at Nordstrom Rack when I was checking out, but I've also seen it in places like Sephora and Ulta in those racks of items that you can just grab on your way to checkout. Everyone that I've randomly spritzed with this really likes it, so it's definitely one that I would recommend you check out. And I mean, while you are paying for basically water, it's pretty affordable too. So the misting may seem a little bit excessive and you might think, do I really need to do that? But just keep in mind from the experts, in South Korea, it's very common to see people whip out their facial mists in the office or on the subway in the middle of the day in order to keep all of those ingredients working on their skin. Trust me on this one, give it a try, you're gonna be hooked. Well guys, that does it for this vlog. I hope that you enjoyed the information and found it useful. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up below. And again, if you haven't already done so, be sure to click subscribe down below as well. As always, I'm gonna pop links to all the products I've mentioned here in the description below. Any questions, comments, feedback, product recommendations, be sure to comment those down below as well. As again, I would love to hear from you guys and know what you're using. Other than that, have a great week and I will see you guys next Sunday.